But generally speaking, zooming out, do you have a policy on rumors?
How can I care what somebody thinks about me when they don't even know me? So I don't let rumors bother me. They're very funny, and I think that if people are talking about you, they mean you're doing something right. I always love for people to talk about me. When they quiet down, I try to find something new to give them something to talk about. So I don't buy in to the noise of the world because I got too much work to do.
Now, were you always like this with this mentality when it comes to just rumors specifically, or was this something you grew into?
I used to go crazy, crying, screaming, depressed, frustrated, sad. Why they talking about me like that? Why they think that I cared a lot about what people thought about me for a very long time. And that's a part of why I'm not a billionaire yet, because I cared too much about what people thought about me. And the minute that I released that, it's the minute that I started to feel liberated, but I started to see my money shift because I stopped caring about people's opinions. Took a lot of work.
Was there a specific turning point?
Yes. So maybe about 4 years ago when George Floyd was murdered, I know you remember that. I went through a real serious social media crucifixion. I said something at the wrong time. Everybody was on the blackout, and I was on a Zoom call with my team. We was making all of this money. Business was booming. Oh my God. I mean, money was coming in like crazy. And I got on and I did a video and I said, forget the blackout. We back in. I lost $100,000 a day, and it's time for us to get back to work. And I woke up the next morning and I watched 250,000 people unfollow me. People was threatening me. People was driving by my house, showing me their guns, threatening my kids. And that was a very dark time because I thought social media loved me. I thought Stormy Wellington had served social media well, that they would never turn on me. But that feeling of that social media crucifixion, I was dead for I literally rose on the third day. I couldn't eat. I couldn't move. I was stuck. And when I rose on the third day and I went into a 40-day, 40-night like consecration, oh, that's another thing, you asked me about when do I embrace Christianity's principles. So I went into a 40-day, 40-night personal consecration with myself. I didn't talk to people. I didn't go online. Everything for 40 days and 40 nights was this fast. I consecrated myself. I prayed. I no sex, no alcohol, no communication. And when I came back to the world, I came back more stronger. And I believe that is what prepared me to handle the low vibrational plates crucifixion I went through. That made me a strong woman because I realized in that moment what did not kill me made me stronger.
Now, did for lack of a better phrase, the George Floyd scenario, the blackout scenario, was this before cancel culture started or was this after cancel culture
I
had
think
started?
I helped start cancel culture. I think I was like one of the pioneers of cancel culture. This was in 2020, I believe, was it? Or 20, yeah, I think it was 2020. It was crazy, or maybe 2020. I don't remember what year it was. It was a blur year. I felt like I was going to die being crucified by social media. I don't wish that on nobody. And if you're going through it, you could get through it. You just got to be surrounded by love. And you got to remember that you are special regardless of what you're going through.
Zooming out, what is your opinion of cancel culture?
I think it's sad. I think that we have to have grace for people. I learned that from Christianity too. You got to have grace. God forgives, I think it says 7,000 times. Like, if somebody makes a mistake, you're just going to cancel them? All of the things. First of all, if you're trying to cancel somebody, that means there's somebody in the world that did something noteworthy to be known, to have a name for themselves, and they make a mistake, or maybe didn't know any better, or maybe didn't mean it, and instead of you hearing them out, you want to cancel them? Now, there are some situations where men hit on women and do unethical things to senior citizens and stuff like that. I heard about those situations. Yeah, I get it. Cancel those people. But you can't not give somebody grace for maybe something that they said or did and they didn't mean it with any malicious intent. So I just think that that's just sad that we do that to each other. But I see that, we know what's so crazy? I watched us cancel brands. I remember we canceled Gucci, and then people go back. So I've learned that you could think you're canceling someone, Only God could cancel. And the truth is, that person has to decide in their mind that they're canceled. Because I've seen some people come back resilient like a phoenix after the people try to cancel them.
Is there anything you want to say to those that still might have you on their canceled list or upset, feel some type of way still to this very moment about the comment during the blackout period? Is there anything you
Yes,
want to say to those or
absolutely,
respond to
absolutely,
those people?
absolutely, absolutely. As I am a mature woman who understands that the best thing that you can do for yourself is to self-correct yourself. I mean, I think that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, is having the ability to self-correct yourself. When I said what I said about George Floyd, when he was murdered, that was so insensitive and so immature of me to not take into consideration what was happening. I was so in my bubble. I told you at the beginning of this interview, when I'm laser beam focused, I don't see nothing but the target. So I really didn't know the severity of what happened. And the truth is, there are people right now that left my company, that won't listen to me, that hate me because of that blur, that one moment that I was just wrong. And so I definitely want to apologize for hurting anybody. That was not my intent. I just was oblivious to what was really happening. And I know people lost businesses, people lost their teams, George Floyd family had to mourn his death. And here I am talking about money. I just was insensitive. And I apologize. And I hope y'all accept my apology. I sincerely mean it.
And do you want to address or respond again to critics or those who may have canceled you, still have you on your canceled list, still have you on their canceled list, feel some type of way, however way you want to describe it, when it came to the low vibrational moment there?
Yeah, when it comes to that, first of all, you have to know the story before you could come up with a conclusion. That young lady was one of my students. She still is. She actually is one of my top income earning students. At the time when you guys saw that video, she probably was at about maybe $2 million at the time. But when I first met her, this girl was a big girl. She was 88 pounds heavier. She was homeless, sleeping in her car with her 3 children. When I got her, she had $300 to her name and was sleeping in her car with her kids. I mentored that young lady into a home. She now bought her new home that she built from scratch. When that video was created, I was really using it as a time to teach her a lesson because she had gained weight. Her income had started going backwards, and she was letting people in her home, and they was taking over her home, and she wasn't owning up to who she is. But that was the turning point for her and I. She woke up after that low vibrational plate video. It was very hurtful for her, by the way. She went through her crucifixion. She lost a lot of friends and family members because of that video. But guess what, y'all? She lost 50 pounds. She got a husband, and she's made over $4 million since that video. And nobody could have broken us up. And so I'm sorry that you didn't understand the backstory, but that was my student. That was my mentee. She's my responsibility. Her mom and dad are both deceased. But yet and still, guess what? She is pushing, fighting, and doing her part to make this world a better place. And so I felt responsible to check her and to tighten her up. Like, what's up with you? You're not even looking like yourself. Why are you eating a plate that look like that? I look at it now, though. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I look at that video now and I crack myself up. I had green ghetto nails. Now that I look at it, it was a hot mess. So I get what y'all was saying, and it was a hot mess, but I'm proud that we stayed together. People really was on her about that, but she knows how I feel about her and how I love her. Shouts out to Dr. Tammy Peterson for still being here and not letting nobody break us apart. But again, I look back at that video, y'all, and it was a hot damn mess, okay? So I see what y'all talking about now. But I ain't see it at the time, okay?
And to be fair, it sounds like you're also saying that that clip was taken out of context. Had people had the full backstory that you just provided, that might have not been as viral as it was, and maybe people would think differently of the both of you.
I think that if people would have understood, they would have looked at me as the hero. However, everything always works out for me because people like you know me because of that video. I got so many people that never knew who I was. That video did 250 million impressions worldwide. People know me to this very day. To this very day, people are, that's a low vibrational plate. Like literally, I should trademark that. I mean, Sexy Red and Sukiana used it in that video. Like, I created something that changes people's mindsets when it comes to food. So shouts out to me for being bold enough to be willing to create a new attitude, because guess what? You got a new attitude, and don't be eating no low vibrational plates.
Now, you're joking here and being tongue-in-cheek and things of that nature, but do you still feel canceled today in 2020, almost at the end of 2024, heading into 2025? Do you still feel canceled?
No, hell no. I don't feel canceled. People love me. I've changed a lot of lives. I have girls in my community that was suicidal. I have men in my community that was suicidal. They're still here. People rock with me. People advocate for me. People love me. Of course, I got some haters. You always gonna have haters when you're doing something. But I got more people that love me than that hate me, and that's all that matters.
Do you want to say anything to those? And again, circumstances could be different for everyone, but let's say there's someone that is watching or listening to this interview and they just may have been canceled themselves for whatever reason. And to see or hear your story where you may have felt just like one of those people at one point in your life at your lowest from the internet and have risen past that and don't feel canceled anymore. If you were ever canceled, and excuse me if I'm putting words in your mouth or the audience's mouth there, but is there anything you want to say to those who are currently canceled, those who are just gotten canceled, or however this stuff goes? Is there anything you want to say to those people?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, it's a test. Write this down. Adversity advances the assignment. Pass the test to your abundance. It is a test. Anything of great quality, anything before it goes into the marketplace, before it leaves the manufacturer, before it leaves the conveyor belt, it has to be tested before it goes into your own right. You're being tested. And if you fold under pressure, you just a sucker. And I don't think none of y'all want to be labeled as no sucker. So one of the things that kept me through that time is knowing that they wanted me to stay down. Remember, we fall down, but we get up. Don't let nobody put you on your face. And that's what they wanted. And because I knew that, I was determined to not give the haters what they wanted. So that's what you got to do. You got to think about, who are you satisfying when you're giving up because they tried to cancel you? And even if you may have been canceled for a year or two, come back strong. You could come back from anything. And for me, I think that being canceled and coming back gave me a sense of resilience, because it makes me realize you can't break me because you ain't make me. You get it? You can't break me because you didn't make me.
Now, when you were canceled, if that's the correct phrase at that time, especially with the George Floyd scenario that you presented further, you mentioned that you did a 40-day experience and things of that nature. Did you go dark on the internet for that amount of time? Like, did you disable your own accounts? Did you just not post? Can you just take the audience back to how you handled that?
So during those 40 days and 40 nights, I prayed, I meditated, I got into the word, I built myself up, I stayed away from the internet. I didn't go live, I didn't post, I kept my page up. I kept it up. But I just didn't participate in any social media activities. I took the app down because I couldn't see it. People was coming for me. You understand what I'm saying to you? People, I remember going in my DM and somebody telling me how much I hate you, I wish you die. If I see you, I'm gonna spit in your face. Like, it was crazy. And I'll scroll up and those very people was telling me how much they loved me, how much they appreciated me, how much they cared for me. But I was like, oh my God, this is the same girl. You scroll down and she's telling me how much she hates me. So it just made me realize how time heals all wounds. Because guess what? Those same people end up coming back later on and telling me how much they love me. So that's why you have to show up even if they've canceled you, because adversity advances the assignment. Pass the test to your abundance.
Because there are some that are canceled and they go two separate ways. There's some that are canceled, quote unquote, and they still keep posting. They still show up in people's faces and still are, prominent and in real time. And then there's some that go dark. They disable comments, they disable posts, they hide posts, they may disable their profile and go dark. Is there a right way or wrong way after being quote unquote canceled to handle a situation of that? Or is every situation different? Or in your case, it sounds like you went dark kind of. You still kept your profile up, but you just weren't actively posting or going live anymore for a certain period of time.
So first of all, I would never go dark again. I think you just need one good punch in the eye, one good punch in the stomach. And then now it's like you're immune to it. Like listen, new devils, no. Old devils. Sometimes when you go into new levels, you think new levels, new devils. No, when you go into the new levels, it'll be the same damn devils. So once you've experienced one cancellation, you should feel immune to it, right? And I think that you should do what's best for your mental health, but how many times you gonna keep letting the same devil trick you about your spot? I'm never going dark again. I lost a lot of money. I hurt a lot of people, and I disappointed a lot of people. You gotta remember, when there's a battle, there's always a team. It's somebody on the winning team and somebody on the losing team. Why would you allow the team that wants you to lose to be satisfied? And then the team that wants you to win, why would you disappear from them? They need you. I realize now that I look back that there were people that needed me, that loved me, that when I disappeared, I was supposed to stay with the winners. The winners would have gotten louder. Listen, y'all, winners are always louder than the losers. Think about it. The winners get louder than the losers. So I just feel like, going dark is not good. And I know that everybody's different, but what about the people that love you? You're disappearing from them. And so that's something that I always think about. And I want to say now, I apologize. There are people that probably committed suicide during that season I disappeared. My check went down, and I proved the haters right because I disappeared. I would never do it again, so don't you do it.
So when the low vibrational plate moment happened after, and how long did that happen after? Was that
Years,
a year after?
Like maybe 2 years after.
Okay, when that happened, you didn't go dark.
Oh, hell no. I was like, oh, please, you guys shut up. They was mad. People was talking trash in my comments, talking trash in my inbox. But I didn't care. It's like, you're stupid. Get away. I laugh at those people now. Like, they're loud. We call them loudmouth frogs. Shut up, you little frog.
What do you want to say to any of your haters that are watching or listening to this interview?
To my haters, I'm a good person. I know that sometimes I talk slick and I say things that you don't agree with. And some of you all are going to watch this interview and not agree with a lot of things that I said. And that's okay, because whatever you believe is right. But I would tell you, you should get to know me. I'm really cool. I'm really fun. I'm really loving. And the only reason why you possibly may hate me is probably not even something that you experienced from me on your own. You heard something and you believe it. But I would encourage you, give me a chance, because when you come over here in my world, your world gets brighter. And so don't hate, love. Love is power. Remember, write this down. Love is the answer to everything in life. So I give love and I receive love, effortlessly and unconditionally. Hate is not something that you should have for a queen like me.
And what is your opinion on the internet at this point? There was a moment in time where you thought you were invincible, that the internet loved you, that you could do no wrong. And then the George Floyd blackout moment proved you the opposite in that instance. What do you make of the internet at this point in your life? Zooming out.
I love the internet. I make a lot of damn money on the internet. I can never hate the internet. I get to work in my pajamas. I get to be in an interview with you. This interview is going to go all over the world. Somebody's going to listen to this and say, I love her. They're going to follow me. They're going to spend some money with me. They're going to get in business with me. They're going to come to my events. I make millions of dollars. I make impact. I meet people. I've met some of the most amazing people from the internet. I had a Lifetime show. I got networks calling me every 2-3 days trying to get me to do a show or get on a network or do something. Like, I love the internet. The internet is the greatest place to get exposure. The internet is the greatest place to get out of obscurity. You can meet your man. You can meet your woman. You can meet your sister friend. You can find your family. The internet, to me, is a gift from God, if you ask me. The internet is the greatest tool to become educated, to become connected, and to create wealth. Where else can you do this but the internet? So the internet has been good to me. The two little things that I experienced on the internet, those are minor compared to this big life that I get to live because of the internet.